Hi everyone, how's it going? Today's video is all about snacking. And I made this video specifically for those of you who have told me that your self-isolation or quarantine snacking is out of control. I want to talk about why this is a problem and also some simple strategies you can use to manage your consumption. So let's get into things. There are many of us who are stuck at home right now and we're bored, we're stressed, and how that's materializing for a lot of us is excess food consumption. So more snacks than ever, fast food, lots of takeout, and overall just feeling down on ourselves. And this is a problem. And the reason it's a problem is that we need to recognize and acknowledge that our health is inextricably tied to our immune system. So if we want strong immune health, which seems like the most logical thing to want in the midst of a pandemic, we need to address our nutritional wellness. The individuals with the worst mortality rates right now are those with cardiovascular disease, obesity, diabetes. And although a lot of you might not have that right now, here's a wake-up call. In 2002, we had SARS. 13 years later, we had MERS. And then 4 years later, we have COVID. Those are all coronaviruses. So it can be speculated that maybe the frequency that coronaviruses are going to be circulating is on the rise. And if they can take you out because you have health concerns, then maybe we should consider our health now for the next coronavirus. So there's a little bit of a wake-up call for those of you who might just think, oh, well, I'm just going to do whatever right now just because I'm stressed. Our health today is important for our health in the future. How are you supposed to take care of your spouse or your kids when you're getting taken out by a virus? So put that all into perspective for yourself to actualize why it is important to begin working on your nutritional wellness today. Okay, number 2, it's important to plan your snacking out. It is unrealistic to say, okay, Naomi, I'm just going to not eat any more junk and snack foods and fast food ever again. That's not going to happen. We are all stressed right now and we want comfort, and we are going to continue to find comfort in our foods. But there is a way that you can still consume foods you like and also keep your weight in check, but it requires that you apply yourself with more strategy. And strategy is so important right now because we're so inactive. So because we're so inactive, a lot of emphasis needs to be placed into our nutritional wellness. We cannot bank on these home workouts being effective enough to manage our weight on their own. We need to apply an entire system where we're trying to be as active as possible, but we really hack the nutritional component of our day-to-day life. So how can we do this? And that's what I'm about to tell you. So I really like recommending the use of feedback tools. So here are some of them. We're going to talk about them. Number 1 is the Renpho scale. It doesn't have to be this one, but I highly recommend that you look towards getting a Wi-Fi enabled scale that helps you log your weight daily. I recommend this for anyone who does not have an eating disorder. There are other strategies for those with eating disorders, and you should probably work with someone in an eating disorder clinic. For the rest of us, it's important to have as many metrics as we can get for our health, and the weight that we see on the scale daily is really relevant. The nice thing about a Wi-Fi enabled scale is that it trends your weight over time. So those numbers do not lie, because weight gain and weight loss can both be very slow and very gradual. And it might take several weeks to put on 5 pounds, but those 5 pounds can really place a burden on your health. So to keep our weight in check, we have to see the numbers. We need to see the data. And this lets you know if what you're doing day to day nutritionally is sound. So that's number one. Number two is circumference measurements. The simplest one is waist. Your waist is a really good indication of your risk for all-cause mortality. Another really important thing that waist measurement can give you is the possibility of internal inflammation. So here's an example. It's the variances in the numbers day to day that can indicate to you whether the foods you ate the prior day have an inflammatory effect on your gut. So if you wake up and your waist is 30, and the next day it jumps up to 34, and you can feel that the tissue around your waist feels spongy and like it's waterlogged, it's often a sign of gut inflammation, and you need to address what you ate the prior day to analyze whether you need to remove certain foods that might be giving your body distress. So I really like waist measurements, and using just a simple chart, you can kind of see how it changes day to day, and that's important. Okay, number three is blood sugar measurements. So I've been tracking my blood sugar for about 2 months now, and in the beginning I was tracking it all day long. Now I just track my blood sugar every single morning when I wake up, and I can easily tell whether I've been consistent with my exercise and consistent with my diet by the first number of the day. So for me, my individual numbers, and everyone's going to be a little bit different, I will be between 4.6 and 5 millimoles per liter of fasting blood glucose upon rising if I'm keeping my nutrition and my exercise in check. It will be over 5 millimoles per liter when I've eaten too much the day before, or I've had too many days of inactivity. So this data allows me to make quick corrections. It's like, oh, I'm waking up over 5 millimoles per liter. It's time to get more active. It's time to cut down on the dietary carbohydrates, possibly even stop eating as close to bedtime. So that's all important in helping me regulate my health. So those are 3 really great tools. Not that expensive. The blood sugar one is kind of, but the scale is like $30, and that tape measure is like $5. Now, using all that data, you can manipulate your dietary variables to keep yourself in check using constant feedback. Don't ask your spouse how you look, because people are going to lie, and that can hurt how much progress you make in the long run. When your spouse says you just look great, you're just going to continue to snack. And that's a problem if those snacks result in calorie surpluses that compromise your health. So to summarize, snacking is not the devil if we're using other parameters to ensure it's not compromising our health. So I'm not telling you to completely stop snacking, because we need those foods to provide us with some amount of comfort right now. But if we completely ignore signs that we're overdoing it, then that's when it becomes a problem, and it may lead to poor outcomes in the long run for the next hit of a coronavirus. So I hope this was informative for you guys. Good luck with everything. Please message me if you have any questions. I love hearing from you guys. Okay, bye.